Just the idea of by coming together, we'll generate some new ideas of things we can experiment with. On the actionable tasks, when we get to that, it'd just be nice for us to write down our statements of intent for what we will experiment with in the future based on our experiences here in the workshop. As you have explored digital possibilities for your programming and your practice, what's gone well?
Now here representing Impulstanz International Dance Festival based in Vienna, which is one of the biggest festivals for contemporary art, dance and performance almost worldwide. We haven't done any digital or online experiments up to now.
In terms of our original programming, the Triumph is a new enrichment program called the Shakespeare Hour, and we've done 16 episodes so far. It's directly informed, I can say, our conversations internally about the kind of programming that we should be offering our audiences in the future. It's actually changed a lot of our minds about what our audience is ready for and also what they need to be exposed to by classical theater. And it's also allowed us to be in touch with fellow theater artists who are mostly just sitting at home with nothing to do and really happy to join us for an hour every week.
And I'm based right now, part of my heart is over there in Yelamu, Bay Area, Ohlone, Ramaytush Ohlone land. And my feet are on Tewa lands, unceded occupied Tewa territories that are known as Ogapoge originally, but more commonly known as Santa Fe, New Mexico. I'm taking in this moment of privilege to be here, and that my triumph is life, and that everything that I'm creating is about this uplift of life itself. It is a triumph of trust in the unknown. That's something that's very hard to have right now, but I'm in practice of it through this collaborative new media forms. As far as the invigorating exercise, I want to give everyone an opportunity to physicalize and kind of orient themselves in a similar way. So I want you to just have that feeling of your feet making contact with the floor, and to just make that contact, that sort of sensuality of contact. Each of us are on land that is deeply storied and deeply historied. There are indigenous peoples who we are indebted to for what they have done to continue the land into renewal with their songs and dances since the beginning of time. And taking a big breath so you can just find that sensation inside your body. I'm just going to invite you to let your arms swing front and back. So you're just creating a little bit more mobility through your shoulders. I'm just going to let you swing because it feels good, it's fun, you can do it without thinking. I'm asking everyone to take part in this. Yeah, and moving your head side to side like you're doing, that's a great thing. Yeah, once you start getting into your body, you want to yawn, you want to stretch. So as we're swinging behind, you might think of who in your life has helped you in your past to get where you are now. Is it your family? What is behind you? Is it your teachers, your mentors? Is it your ancestors? Thank you for participating and for being in your body.
Oh my gosh, our poor land right now. Good grief, y'all. Climate change, it's real. Oh, that's why I'm so grateful to have my beautiful studio where I can, at the very least, pretend that I'm in a different location. Because holy socks, I'm a disabled artist, which means I'm trapped inside my house. So this imaginative space, this is what we got. This is what we get. I think this transmedia thing is the thing that we need to be doing. We need to be preparing to make all of our work incredibly accessible remotely, asynchronously. This is partially because I'm disabled and I require the accessibility that this type of collaboration provides. We also want to make sure that we are creating a relationship that is not just about one person telling a story to another person. It's about actual exchange taking place in the physical space as well as in the digital space. So the tagline for my company is producing performances of justice on stage, online, and now in person.
We were founded as a research center to get used to the connectivity between the artistic work and technical experience of today's digital transformation. The streaming of theater and the art of streaming of theater and creating rooms where you can be together and have a feeling of knowing each other and have a feeling of how could this thing of digital a little bit feel like an analog theater, not to blow the other thing away, just even to get a new place to communicate in this pandemic scenery.
Opera, of course, is a very problematic art form, and we're a company that works a lot with trying to dig into those problems. And we saw the pandemic and going to a virtual place as a opportunity to deal with those problems that historically we haven't been able to deal with because of the way the opera industry is built. The initial triumph was being able to get over our own prejudices. I'm a snob and about the voice and about live theater and blah, blah, blah. But when we started to do the calculus on accessibility and what working in a virtual space would do in terms of allowing us to reach new audiences, that really made it not a no-brainer for us.
I lead the Opera Beyond project, which is our approach and our project to explore the possibilities that new technology may have for performing arts. Our autumn season was opened by this new kind of performance. This installation, actually, it accommodates only 6 people at a time. So that allows us to respect all the safety measures in the dome. It has projection mapping and immersive audio and AI that sort of like transforms the experience every time, so it's unique each time.
So Toaster Lab has been working on various types of mixing mixed reality and performance for a few years. A lot of that work actually stems from an interest in sustainability and trying to reduce our carbon footprint. With the change to moving everything online, I felt kind of at home because of the amount of events that I was asking not to attend in person, and had put a lot of effort into being able to present remotely in ways that people could feel confident of a good experience. So when things started to shift in March, felt like the first thing that we wanted to do was sort of take these experiences that we were already sort of working with and pivot those into looking at post-Zoom aesthetics.
Cool. Thank you for sharing. Thank everybody for sharing. I can briefly introduce myself as well. Our main thing is just sparking visionaries. So when we see people who might not be artists or might not be technologists approaching the scene from either side and just realizing how much potential there is and realizing that they are artists, that's the best to us. And we see that happening at our festival, at our workshops, and then we've now started a sales program where we help them sell their artwork. Let's go right into the gathering of problems. These problems can be small, they can be big, they can affect everything you do, they can affect 1 minute of your day. It's brainstorming, so just get all the problems out. Moving on to the next section of building solutions, take the next 5 minutes just to get as many ideas on formatting and programming. For this this exercise, just think about our own organizations and our own efforts, so that as we put these things on the effort impact kind of scale, it helps us get to a point where we can say individually, like, I will apply this to my next project, or think about how this could affect my practice. Would anybody like to share any closing thoughts?
Let's just go across like we're weaving. We've met people for like, you can just like cross.
I just also want to thank you, because I realize, also in the performing arts, I think they are still a bit more European and US or whatever. And this is also interesting. Also, of course, when how we talk about race, for example.
We're all talking about very similar things. So it actually is inspiring to feel less alone from this exercise.
Very exciting, and such a diverse crowd of people.
My action commitment is to create design ecologies that are anti-capitalist, accessible, and center BIPOC cultural producers.
I benefit from significant systemic and institutional privilege, and see it as part of my responsibility in holding that privilege to work as an ally for those who do not benefit from the same privilege, or who have experienced oppression as a result of that privilege.
I think what I got the most out of this session, well, I love the diversity in the topics that we touched.
Just love this I mean, it's a concept I hadn't put words to before, of universal design, and so much of what we're doing is creating new spaces and commissioning new technologies, and making universal design a central component, and thinking of accessibility as an essential element of design rather than something we do extra.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for your time. And yeah, let's let this beautiful network flourish and help us navigate the future.